Tucker Carlson they're saying that the Republicans are going to have no choice but to elect a fascist in 10, 15 years. What? Sam, how could you say something like that? What's wrong with you? You out of control? No, I'm not saying that. Tucker Carlson and his guest is saying that. Here is Tucker Carlson welcoming to his program Jesse Kelly.
I think you make a really solid point about the sadness and the powerlessness that people feel in the face of this. And at some point, people are going to say, why should I follow the rules? Why should I be a good citizen if they don't have to follow the rules? I mean, things kind of break down at some point, don't they?
Well, they will break down. They are breaking down, Tucker. I've said this before, and I'm telling you, I'm worried that I'm right. The right is going to pick a fascist within 10 to 20 years because they're not going to be the only ones on the outs. There's 60, 70 million of us. We're not a tiny minority. And if we're going to be all treated like criminals and all subject to every single law while Antifa, Black Lives Matter guys go free and Hunter Biden goes free, then the right's going to take drastic measures. And it's not about Hunter Biden and his drug use. Nobody cares the guy was bumping booger sugar lines off European hookers on the weekend. It's about justice that he's never held accountable for, and none of the Bidens are. But you would be, Tucker, and so would I.
That's so well put, and you're absolutely right. We're moving toward actual.
I want a compilation of those from Tucker.
Undermining the system that kept extremism at bay, and I don't think we can say that enough. I'm so glad that you just said it. Jesse Kelly, thank you.
Well, you bet, Tucker.
Booger Dooger.
Booger sugar.
Listen. The story here is that like we're gonna go fascist and it's gonna be the liberals' fault.
Right. We didn't want to become fascists, but you made us.
Hunter Biden's going free. We're all gonna be fascists now.
Can they cool it with the Coke stuff? I mean, it's just like obvious that they're obsessed with the fact that Hunter Biden's like done cocaine and had an issue in the past. But like, I mean, they're kind of overcompensating a little bit when Don Jr. eventually runs because he's going to have a little bit of some booger sugar issues himself.
The issue is that 20 years from now, when someone runs as a fascist, they're going to be talking about Hunter Biden and Antifa getting away with all of it. I mean, this is just simply their frame. They can just plug anything into this machine. I remember being on a panel with Whitman, former governor of New Jersey. What was her first name? She was the former EPA.
Chrissy Todd.
Yeah, Chrissy Todd Whitman. She was the EPA head under George Bush, and I think it was on a panel with her maybe like I don't know back maybe 10 years ago now. 2011 or something. And she said, look, if liberals weren't so adamant about climate change, they wouldn't force conservatives to be to be climate change deniers.
It's just saying we're reactionary in our nature.
We have no agency.
Exactly.
It says we have no agency except for the way that we react to the left, which is largely true, right? A lot of modern conservatism is just about owning the libs. And so they don't really know who they are when they're just engaging in cultural Dr. Seuss nonsense.
Yeah.
Who they are independent of leftist reactions.
It's the "look what you made me do" thing that like the Taylor Swift song, and it goes back to Nixon as the first Republican I identified this in as because I studied him, but he was doing all this Watergate stuff, and in his mind he was thinking LBJ was doing this shit to me. So and LBJ actually wasn't. Herbert Hoover, or not Herbert Hoover, J. Edgar Hoover gassed him up about that to make him paranoid. But yeah, it's always "look what you made me do."
Abuser logic, and it's also again, it's pathetic that they don't have agency outside of how other people treat them, I guess.